Yeah, so obviously our kinesiology lab's a huge part of what we do. Allows our athletes to receive the best of all worlds here at IGP. And very importantly for the coaches to be able to collaborate to really see how the athlete's performing, what the trajectory of their development is. And same for Ambrose and the kinesiologist. They're able to see what the coaches are looking for, what sort of patterns we see in the bay, and just what sort of athletic profile that we're working with, and how to move the needle, how to improve. So how do you sort of guide your athletes down that path of improvement?
Well, it's exactly like you said. I mean, we want to improve the golfer's experience. It's a journey. They don't go from A to Z, in one big, jump.
Right.
And so that collaborative approach is really what helped us. And so, we're looking at specific things from a kinematic and a kinetic standpoint. And then it's kind of like clutch and gas. So when the GC says, hey, I like what we improved here, but I want to really go here next in this drill, and then we can pivot really easily, and it doesn't negatively influence the data. So I think that because we're all in-house, it's so much faster.
I've been down that sort of performance route ever since my college days, my competitive days, and there's a lot of influence on kinematics. There wasn't a big influence on the kinetics, on actually training those patterns, on getting that neuromuscular connection to the body. And that's one of the biggest differences I see with our approach here at the lab is we're not looking at just kinematics, we're looking at how the body's performing, how it's moving, and if that body's actually integrating these, say, the increase in range of motion, this increase in strength, and the symmetry between, say, left side and right side. So blending those two is really what's necessary for that athlete to adapt and then actually perform when we're seeing these improvements in the lab.
Correct. Yeah. And I think, it goes another step with that is a lot of times, we're looking at one thing here and we're thinking like, okay, they're doing really, amazing. And then if you come back or one of our GCs come back and say, hey, we need more ground reaction force here.
Right.
It's not loading. And it's just an additional set of eyes that we didn't see. A lot of times we don't see the exact same things you guys see unless we're there. But when you bring that to our attention, we can immediately, create a correction solution for them.
Yeah. It's a streamlined approach. Our athletes are able to come in, go through the biomechanical assessment, we go through our golf assessment, and we establish a game plan from there. And we see great results when our folks are coming in. Maybe it's an hour here in the lab, followed up by an hour in the bays, or vice versa. And that combination, that ability to collaborate, that ability to really have a synergy interdepartmentally provides an experience that's unique to that individual.
Absolutely.
And that's really where we see progress. And most importantly, we're seeing our athletes not only go through the motions, but absorb that information, absorb these new patterns. And essentially we're developing new improved behaviors, which yield results.
I think, that's one of the things that's really fun about our environment is, we have 3 different departments, but we have one common goal.
One thing that, I think our athletes really value is the ability to test and retest. Right? So when my data is showing me where I'm at as an athlete, Ambrose does an amazing job of articulating what that information means and where we need to go to improve that. And then we go through the process, we trust that journey, and then we're retesting. So now when I look at my data and I see, all that work I've done over the past 3 weeks, my force output just went from 80 newtons of force to 110, and now that muscle imbalance shrinks from 15 or 20% to less than 5. I mean, that's so gratifying. And maybe the athlete feels that, but to see it and to track those metrics is powerful.
Right. And I think that's really the awesome thing here, in every department we have, this technology that allows us to make things visual, right? And so it goes away from our opinion to now like, hey, we have verifiable information, data, insight. And I think the other thing too that we've been able to do specifically with the lab component is identify like what type of athlete typically benefits the most from what we do, right? That competitor, that person who doesn't mind saying, hey, I know I have some strengths, but I also have some weaknesses. I have these imbalances and I want to clean those up.
Right.
Give me some guidance, give me some direction,
Right.
right? I'm getting that on this golf side, right? I need this from the ball mechanics side. If we can put those together,